Are there people, do you see any consistency in the people who struggle and don't do well?
Yeah, I think it's, first of all, I had a conversation where we flew somebody in and we're interviewing somebody for the brand president role for this new launch that we have coming in a month.
Okay.
And this person's very experienced. All of our presidents have built national brands before. That's one of the things that we do is we find highly, proven successful people to lead these brands. You can't have kids running these things like these. It's too important. But, like we talked, it's very difficult to predict somebody's heart. It's very difficult to predict how somebody's likely to react. So sometimes, people will have a resume where I've worked with multi-billion-dollar companies my entire life. And, I did things, but they were, maybe they were consultative and they didn't have to follow through on the results. They just left the plan at the door and they left it with them. Or maybe they've spent their entire career really solving problems on a computer screen. And this business requires, it's not going to happen on your screen. It's going to happen out there in the marketplace. So, but then I've had some, very, lots and lots of very successful corporate people that have come in and they just executed the plan flawlessly. They got big. We do a little television series called Heroes on the Home Front. And we just launched one the 31st, so a couple days ago, and 35-minute show on a designery location with a lady named Rebecca Marola. And she was a tough customer in corporate. She went and ran a plant in Chihuahua, Mexico. I mean, just a really, really good operator up there. And she went and we were filming the show and everybody in town knew her. Like they already knew her. She was in the chamber. She was leading committees. She donated the billboard to Quakertown Alive, which was their local business development thing. She created a partnership with Habitat for Humanity Restore and building homes. Like she had just done everything, and she's already, on plan to do, to hit her first year goal. And if they all do that first year goal, that business can be wildly successful. Yeah. But she just did it. I mean, she just literally went out and did it. And that's really all it takes. Now, what happens, it's very difficult to tell like what size battery people have to be somebody they're not for long enough for them to do the things they need to do if it's not comfortable for them. So people will always revert back. Our will is an inexhaustible resource. So when we wake up in the morning, we've got a certain amount of battery. And when you do the same thing every day, the reason we revert back to the mean and we do things that we're comfortable with is because it uses less battery. It really doesn't use any battery to scroll through TikTok. So if you're not somebody that will go out, talk to people, curate a great 3-minute story about who you are and why you're building this business, what it's going to mean for the community, how you're going to resolve problems, because there's always going to be problems. And then you're just constantly on the move going, because when you're launching a new business to a new community, you really got to get out there and meet the people. And, in addition to the digital paid media and any other placements and traditional advertising and all of that, I mean, you got to go out and get a core customer set of people that are going to work with you, other business owners that can refer you business and all of those types of things. So if people aren't willing to leave their house in a home service business, it makes it more difficult because it's not where it happens, right? Then if it's not happening, you just focus more on your computer, and then you call us and you say, well, I'm not getting enough stuff into my computer. And it's like, wow, yeah, but that's, the computer stuff's there. I mean, we have great technology. We got if you look at the relative dashboards against you and all your peers by all the KPIs that we give you, you'll see that, these are the things that you need to be doing that you're not doing to do it. So there's a little bit of that. I mean, but everybody comes to it, right? And again, you got to make the business simple enough for people to follow a plan and be able to execute it in their local marketplace. Now,